Which one is this? This is the Petzl.
Yeah, so this is my new Petzl Zig Zag, and it's just kind of taken the place of my friction knot.
But you can also use it SRT, single rope.
You can.
Is that kind of what it's designed for?
I think it's kind of multi-purpose. They mentioned the double rope technique in the brochure that comes with it.
So you can use it both ways, huh?
You can. Of course, you have to know how to do SRT before you do it for SRT, and I don't. But anyway, once I get up in the tree, I've made the end of this rope skinny. I took the sheath off and then kind of whipped the core and then put tape over it just so it's much easier to feed into this zigzag like that.
But you don't do that till you get to the top of the tree and get it all set in.
I will do that at the top, yeah.
Okay.
But the reason the best thing I like about this zigzag is when you go to take up slack. See, there it is when you're hanging from it. But then if you go out on a limb and you get slack, instead of monkeying around with the monkey knot, you can just take your slack by pulling like that.
The taut line hitch.
Yeah, taut line hitch.
I'm still a standby on the taut line hitch. I know how to use the Blake hitch, and I've used it before, but I'm so comfortable with the taut line hitch. It feels right to me.
Yeah. And
a lot of people say that it binds up more, and I think that for an inexperienced person, maybe it does bind up more. The Blake hitch maybe runs a little bit smoother.
I have a feeling it depends on what kind of rope you're using too, because I used to use safety blue.
Yeah.
And I always use the taut line hitch. And then I got some Arborplex, and it seems like I've been fighting the monkey knot ever since with that Arborplex. I'm not sure why exactly, but I'm just having to stop and loosen it more often.
Well, if it gets a little bit of pitch on there, it's a mess too.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
But kind of my last battle with the taut line hitch in a big tree, I thought, I might try this, buy one of those zigzags and give it a try. So, let's see.
Also got a cambium saver. And the cambium saver is really good for protecting the tree, but it also is really good for protecting your rope. And just got a brand new rope here.
Sappy tree.
On a real sappy deodar cedar.
I'll just put this little knot. I don't know about this, if that would slide down behind me.
And so you put that over the crotch you're working on, and that protects the rope and makes everything run smoother. And at the very end, all you do is put a knot on the end of the rope when you pull it up, and it catches that and pulls it right down. So it's a great little device. And on smooth bark trees, thin bark trees, like say a madrone for instance, if you wrapped out of a madrone, you could cause serious damage to the top of the limb. So a cambium saver on a smooth bark tree is definitely a big plus for protecting the tree.
So this particular job was a large deodar cedar that was breaking branches, and it was very hot weather that contributed to it. A lot of these limbs were cut back in the past, and that was causing them to create multiple branches on the tips, multiple ends. The tree was loaded with these really, really big solid cones. So it was sort of the 1, 2, 3, and the tree started to self-destruct. So Jeff decided to go up there, and this is the first time that either one of us have any experience with this new zigzag. Now, I don't want to get into the argument about what's better, a mechanical device or a knot. I'm still currently happy with the taut line hitch. I've used the Blake hitch. I prefer the taut line hitch to the Blake's hitch. But, a lot of people will say, oh, you're crazy, the Blake's hitch is better, da-da-da-da. But then you'll hear a lot of people say, oh, use the rope runner, use the zigzag, use the this, the that. There's getting to be a lot of devices on the market. And it's hard to keep up with them all, to be honest with you. It's You know, the whole industry has been changing quite rapidly over the last decade. There's so many new tools, or should I say toys. No, they're tools on the market that help you get up and down and around in the tree. We're still using the double rope technique, which is, you know, using a single rope wrapped over and using both sides. And I ran into something interesting. I saw this on Facebook. This is an older Petzl Zig Zag that broke. And I think they've modified it and increased the size of the links. But I just wanted to bring this to everybody's attention that there is some potential. I don't know why it happened, but it did.